Welcome back to the Jared Briggs Show. Blue collar could take over America. That's an interesting topic, right? You guys, this is coming from the heart. This is coming from something that I've thought about for a really long time now. I grew up in blue collar lifestyle. I work white collar. My business is white collar, but I grew up blue collar. I grew up on a cattle ranch. Cool story here. I grew up on a cattle ranch. My family, we had around 100 cows. We might have had more at times, but it was always around 100 head. And when I got into being a little older, into high school and that, I actually got to the point where I had 12 cows of my own, 12 mother cows. I'd raise calves off them every year and then sell them. And my brother and I did 4-H, and it was a whole project that we did. My parents have always been in blue collar type jobs and lifestyle, and it's surrounded by me. Most of my family works in blue collar. Most everybody I know is very involved in blue collar, and my wife and I have cows today. So this lifestyle, this industry, the blue collar all around me, and I love it. It's really funny now because I'm in the white collar industry, but I feel like God had a little bit of a play in that, honestly, that I went into the financial services industry. It's really funny because of the things that I've wanted to accomplish and that I've wanted to do. That's a whole nother topic for another day, but there's a little bit of a background that I've been in blue collar. I've actually worked in the oil field in Vernal, Utah, out in the oil field, the gas and oil, working on the gas lines is what I did. Right out of high school, I worked at a feed store before I went on my LDS mission. Then when I came home, I worked at another feed store, feed mill. I helped a guy on his ranch. I've done painting, helped a guy do a little bit of painting. And then I started my business, my financial services insurance business. So I've been very involved in blue collar. The reason why this topic is very heavily on my mind is, especially over the last 8 years, working in the financial services industry, I've had the opportunity to help a lot of people with health insurance, Medicare, life insurance, protecting retirement of income. And I've really thrived in the blue collar market. I don't focus on the big cities, the high concentrated areas. I live in Utah, so going down to Salt Lake or anything. And I have clients in those areas just because how referrals work. But that's not where I built my business. That's not where the large majority of my clientele is. I really vibe with the farmers and the ranchers and the small towns. And there's not a lot of agents that go out there. They don't want to drive out there. They don't want to spend time doing that. And so that's where I found my little niche. Well, in doing that, I've spent a lot of time talking to this blue collar people. I have clients in Idaho by Boise. He sold his farm. He didn't give me an exact number, but it's over 15 million. And the guy, like him and his wife would go on cruises for a month straight. They had 2 beautiful homes. And so I had a lot of cool conversations with him. So I've had conversations with people that are 100% government subsidized. Then I've had conversations with people that are super wealthy. I got a client real close here. He makes $1 million a year in retirement. So there's really cool conversations that happen in the opportunity to help people. It's funny being an insurance agent and in this industry, like people tell me everything. I don't know if it's something about me. I don't know what it is, but people open up big time. So I've been able to have a lot of conversations that I wouldn't have had outside of this industry. So I am grateful for that. But with that, I do a lot of analyzing of the blue collar community, period. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care if you're in trades, you're a farmer, you're a rancher. There's so many different sectors of blue collar. It's across the board that there's a lot of potential. I'm going to give you another example. I'm working with a 20-year-old guy. I want to say kid, but I'm 30. He's 21. So in 2024, he made $120,000 in his job. And that's impressive. So I'm kind of setting the stage here of why I want to talk about this topic, of why I believe blue collar has the ability to take over America. I truly believe blue collar has the opportunity and the capability, the blue collar people, to take over the world. And I'm going to talk about a few topics and the reason why. This 21-year-old gentleman that I'm talking about, how many other 21-year-olds in white collar are making $120,000 a year? There are people, they get into sales and do stuff like that, but shoot, most white collar, that typical, they're still in school at 21 years old. They ain't making $120,000 a year. I've got cousins, friends, family, people that I know. They're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, making 50, 60, 70, 80, $120,000 really quick and really fast. And that like really piques my interest. At the same time, I'll flat out say it, blue collar people have a better work ethic than any other type of culture community. If I had to bet on a people, I would pick blue collar every day of the week. And it's just because of the talents and the disciplines that they've created. I had animals growing up. You have to feed the animals. You cannot water and feed them. Like, my dad would tell me this, would you want to go to bed hungry and thirsty? Neither do your animals. The blue collar community, there's a real culture around. You work together as a family. You do things together as a family. Now, it's not everybody. There's some really lazy blue collar people out there on every end of the spectrum. It's just inevitable. But I'm setting this preface here of why I feel this way. And it's because of the work ethic and the capability and opportunity they have to make a good amount of money really quick. You go be a roofer, a plumber, any of those things, you can make good money really fast, especially if you go learn that trade and then you're like, hey, I'm going to go start a business in this. I watched a video the other day. A guy in Utah built a $5 million company in 2 years in the roofing industry. It's because nobody wants to be a roofer anymore. He used technology for marketing and all sorts of things. 5 million in 2 years. The dude's not even 30 years old. That's impressive. So that was cool to come across on TikTok. So you guys see what I'm talking about? Blue collar could really take over America. And I'm going to talk about a few things that the reason why blue collar doesn't and isn't the leader in industry. Like everybody looks to Wall Street and white collar and investing and that they run the country and they're the influence and all that. Without blue collar, this country would come to a stop today. If every blue collar industry quit their job today, tomorrow would suck. There's no way around it. There would be nothing. There'd be no groceries. There would be no fuel. There'd be no power. There'd be no gas. There'd be no water. Like, we would be in trouble. The next thing, and I'm saying, there's no light way to say this. Blue collar is one of the most uneducated. And that's the problem. And that's why I'm creating this, because I look at this and I look at the work ethic and I look at the skills and the talents and the abilities and the control the blue collar people, the blue collar industry has over how America runs and then how America runs the rest of the world. America, like the rest of the world would miss a beat if something happened to America. There's that much effect. And blue collar is making all of that happen. Yet, these are the problems. I wrote them down right here. Income. They have a high income, but blue collar people really struggle with what to do with their money. We're going to talk about that. Social media is a skill and a tool that utilized will change everything. I believe this. I'm learning all this, and I really believe that there's a tidal wave of opportunity, and then AI. Okay, so these are the three topics that I want to talk about in here, and the first thing is money. So I mentioned already that the blue collar industry, they make money, good money really quick. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and on. Like, I know tons of people working in mines and oil field and stuff. They've made a six-figure income 20, 30 years supporting their family. That's pretty impressive. And they've been doing it for a really long time. That's impressive. This is the problem. Blue collar people, they don't know what to do with their money. Blue collar people buy snowmobiles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, trucks, lifts on their truck, big tires on their trucks, guns, hunting, binoculars, backpacks, and the list goes on. Boats, tractors, the list goes on and on and on and on. If you look at the blue collar community, they are very good at purchasing. And there is zero wrong with that. Zero wrong with that. I can't wait to buy the side-by-side that I want. I've really enjoyed my dirt bike. I've got a truck that I love. I just bought a horse trailer. I'm right there with you guys. The toys and those things, like, what's the point of life if you're not enjoying your money? I get it. The problem is blue-collar people only do this. They may participate in their company 401ks or their company retirement accounts and things like that. But I'm here to tell you guys, I've been in this industry for 8 years now, and more people are retiring without even close to enough money to retire than people are retiring with enough money. Like, if I have 10 people come to me for Medicare, they're turning 65, getting ready to retire, coming off company insurance, they need Medicare, there might be one of them, one or two people out of those 10 that have a good retirement. And that's just across the board, period. Across the board. I told you I have those high net worth clients, and then, You know, you guys, the high net worth ones, there's just a couple of them. Out of 700 clients that I have, to 2,500 people that we've now helped in this industry, and I've probably had 4,000 conversations. I can count on two hands the amount of people that have a really good retirement. Most everybody else is they're stressed, they're scared. But I look at it and I'm like, man, these people, you know, they've made good money their whole life. Like, what the heck's the problem? What is the problem here? That is a topic where they make good money. You know, blue collar, all of you blue collar people, you make good money. Like in today's world, period. Plumber, electrician, mechanic, you guys make good money, but you're capping yourself on how much you can make. That's a problem. The blue collar industry will make even more money when they apply certain things, in my belief, that I'm going to talk about. But knowing what to do with the money. I'm going to give a little scenario here. My wife and I've studied this for a good amount of time now. I've studied, 8-9 years. I've been studying money. What is money? How does money work? And what to do with money? And I just keep coming across these situations where people are following the industry standard of do your company 401k match and all these things. It's not enough. It's not working. And I just have this thought. My wife and I, we started studying life insurance. I did. And the power and the ability of life insurance. And I started looking at it from the perspective of my wife and I have a goal. We want to buy a ranch. Her parents have a ranch. We want to buy a ranch, add to what they have. And we were just barely new married. I was 22, 23. My wife was 19. Yeah, she was 19. So we're young. Well, I started looking at like, hey, we had a little bit of money. I was working, all that. We need to start taking this seriously now. I happened to have come across my life. I didn't even have a desk at that point. My life, infinite banking, whole life insurance. And I read every book that I could find. I started looking up videos. I started asking people about it. And I met this gentleman that taught me all about it. His name's Jason. And I started looking at this from a perspective of, whoa, what if we invested into this policy? What if we started putting $5,000 a year into this policy and did that and we forget about it? And we just go to work. My wife goes to school, gets her degree, gets the job that she wants. I start my business, and we just do this and forget about it. 5, 6, 7 years down the road, what will it turn into? That's what I started researching it from the perspective of. So we did it. We ended up going through, I studied for a year and a half. We bought a policy. That policy has now bought our camper. We paid cash for a camper, but we borrowed the money from our policy and bought our camper. That policy has now done about $20,000 worth of yard work and other things on our house. We borrow the money, do the stuff on our house, pay back the policy. I used it for some business things. I had some things that I just got sick of paying. So I was like, I'm going to pay this off on my business. It wasn't dead. I hired some coaches and I was paying monthly and I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm just going to pull. So it was $18,000 I still owed. Pulled the $18,000 out, paid it, use the life insurance that way. This last December 2024, my goal was to pay off my diesel truck. I was like, I want to pay it off in 2024. That's my goal. That was one of my financial goals I had for 2024. And my whole plan was as I was building up the policy, the cash value in the policy, and I owed $14,000 on the truck. I was like, I got to get it to 14, 15. I'm going to borrow it, pay the truck off. Now we own the title to it. And it took me till December 28th. it made it happen. But the interest on the truck was 7.25%. The interest on the policy was 5%. So I borrowed the 14, paid the truck off. I just saved myself 2.25%, 2.25%. Look at the interest that I just saved. Plus, I don't have that payment hanging over my head. I set the terms for my policy. This is a whole nother thing to learn. This is something I just keep thinking of in the blue collar industry, you guys. Blue collar, they don't even understand 401ks. They don't understand life insurance. They don't understand IRAs. Most people, I would say 98% of people don't even understand the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA. People don't understand how a 401k works. People don't understand pension plans. They don't understand annuities. They don't understand how interest works. They don't understand credit cards and how credit cards work. People don't even understand how a home loan works and the different strategy there. Home equity line of credits and all these different tools and resources that we have out there. You guys, I've found, and it's not just blue collar. This is who I'm talking to, okay? White collar don't understand these things either. The American people don't understand these things, okay? But I come from blue collar. This is who I'm talking to. You guys, I vibe with blue collar. I get it. This is the community that I want to help and that I want to talk to. And I just look at this and I'm like, wow, there are so many incredible financial tools and resources out there. That's just a life insurance policy. You guys, there's so many other cool things out there that if you just learned what it is with money, what is money, how does money work, and what to do with it, there's so many crazy cool tools out there. The problem is people don't even take a month to study it. If you studied money for 1 hour every day for a week straight, you would have a better financial knowledge and understanding than 99% of America. That's how crazy it is. And it's not your guys' fault. It's the school system's fault. The government took it out. That's a whole nother podcast. The government purposely took out financial education in our educational system. That's why I don't much like elementary, high school, college. You guys, it's very little value, 100%. I have been in business now for 8 years in a couple of weeks, and I have yet had a moment in my life, in my business life, where I sat and thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember learning that in class. Haven't had that yet. Everything that I've had to learn about money, about banking, about business, about taxes, about marketing, about team building, about hiring and firing, about everything that I use in my freaking life every day, I never learned in school. Never learned in school, okay? I'm telling you, if the blue collar people took a month and studied for 1 hour every week, you would have a good understanding of finance in America. 4 hours in a month, that'd be more than most people have. If you just studied what you're investing your money into, how do taxes work? How do I mitigate taxes? How do I structure this and do that? And interest and banking and whatever it is that you're interested in, credit cards, how to use credit cards and leverage them. Anything you're interested in, you spend a month, 1 hour a week doing that 4 times, you would have a good understanding. So this life insurance, the reason why my wife and I invested into it is because I literally looked, I was like, the challenge is financing. The challenge is money. Like us buying and building our first home, that was hard. But now we've proved ourselves. I know the next time we go to build or buy a house, the bank's gonna be like, oh yeah, boom, 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 right? You see people out there buying stuff, they can't afford that, but they've proved themselves that they can do it. So your first one's your hard one. I look at this and I was like, man, what if we started investing into an investment that would serve us when we're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, but would serve us today? And the camper is the first thing we bought with that policy. And we used that policy to serve us today, and it was still building for future retirement income, banking, life insurance. There's so many valuable tools with it. So the reason why I say blue collar America could take over America is because they have a really good income. 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old men and women making 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and more. If you guys learned what to do with your money and you started taking just a little piece of that and applying it to your financial plan. Now I'm going to tell you this. There is no one financial plan that is perfect. There isn't. There is no one financial plan that is perfect. You know what my wife and I do using these life insurance things, that might not be your forte. A lot of people don't like it. That's fine. But what is? Go find that thing. If day trading stocks is your thing, go do it. If Roth IRA, self-managed Roth, a self-managed traditional IRA, brokerage account, real estate investing, crypto. Oh, gosh, guys, there's so many things. If that's your thing, go do that. I'm going to say this. Warren Buffett made a quote, and I love this quote. Diversification is insurance for ignorance. One thing that I have learned and one thing that I apply, now this is me personally, that I apply in my personal life, I do not diversify. I have found something that I believe in so much, I'm putting all of my eggs in that basket. And that is from the quote of Warren Buffett that I believe in. He says, diversification is insurance for ignorance. So that means diversifying is protecting you against the lack of knowledge you have. You guys, the only people making money off diversification is these financial advisors and planners, stock brokerage managers, and Wall Street. Those are the only people making money off all of this topic of diversification. You guys, I see it left and right. I have hundreds of people that I have had conversations with that they followed the plan. They did their company retirement accounts. They invested into them for 20, 30, 40 years. They did everything. They diversified all of this. And then they're like, hey, I was supposed to have 1.8 million. Why do I only have 400,000? It's because it didn't work. It didn't work. I'm going to say it again. It didn't work. And I'm seeing it over and over and over again. And it's freaking me out. I don't like it. You guys, there's a big problem. And so the reason why I look at this and I'm like, man, blue collar could take over America. If they continued their income that they are earning really quick and grows really fast, if they took that and started learning what to do with it, and you created your own financial plan, you learn. You guys, you don't have to have a degree. You don't have to spend hours and hours. You just study it, weekly, listen to some video while you're going to work about something and be like, oh, I like that or I don't like that. Oh, I like this one. Okay, I'm going to dive deeper here, and then create your plan, your financial plan. What is important to you? If you're like, man, I really want to go buy 20 rental properties, okay, go learn that. You don't have to do your company retirement plans. You guys, my wife works for a university in Utah. We do not do any of their retirement accounts. None. We don't put a penny of her paycheck to any of them. We won't, and we never will. We waived all of those things because we had a different financial plan. We had a thing that we believed in and that we liked. So we said, no, don't do that. We want the money, and we're going to go do the things with it that we want to do. We're putting all of our eggs in that basket. We believe in it. But that is our financial plan. We believe in it. We're excited about it. Her premium for that life insurance policy for hers is due March 2nd. You guys, we are so excited to pay that premium every year because we know the plan that we have in place. We know what it is doing. Again, that is our plan. Does that mean that's going to fit your guys' what you want? No. That might be a terrible investment for you. I'm not sitting here saying whole life insurance is where you should invest your money. That may be an awful investment for you if it doesn't fit your goals, dreams, desires, and plan. It could be an awful investment, but so could all of them. All financial tools and resources have a purpose. They were all created for a reason. You need to learn that reason. You need to learn how they work. You need to learn what they do. Okay, I've done my research. I am not a fan of traditional retirement plans and investments and things. It doesn't fit our plan. I do have clients that did those and they learned them and they managed and they were educated on it and worked with their broker or whatever and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan, all in on here. I have clients that have multiple seven figures that did it that way. They did traditional IRAs, 401ks, Roth IRAs, all those different types of accounts and did very well, but they knew what was going on. They understood it. They followed it. The problem is so many people just don't even want to think about it. So they just turn it over to something or someone else. And then they turn 60 and I should look at that. And then they realize, holy crap, I don't even have close to enough money. I got 5-10 years left and it's not enough time. Compound interest is a real thing. Compound effect is a real thing. Okay. This topic is just been burning in my heart and my soul that I wanted to share with people because I truly believe blue collar could take over America if they learned what money is, how money works, and what to do with it. The blue collar is the largest industry in the world. More jobs, more income, more opportunity than any other thing. Everybody focuses on, I want to work in Silicon Valley and this. Yeah, those are great jobs, and there's people that make tons and tons of money. But guess what? Around that building is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blue collar jobs that you total all that together, and there's multiple 7, 8, 9 figures in income being collected every single year. I want you to just think of plumbers in America. Can you imagine how many plumbers there are? How much income is generated yearly through plumbing? How much tax that the government collects from plumbers? I bet it's billions. I bet it's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Okay, but what is money? How does money work? And what to do with it? All right, so blue collar could take over America if they continued earning their income, increasing their income, and if you learned what to do with it. Because it is a serious, huge problem that I shake my head every day when I meet with people helping them with their insurances in retirement. And I'm just like, man, I feel so bad for them because I'm like, you guys don't have enough. You're going to be living off Social Security. Like you are going to spend the last 20, 30 years of your life living paycheck to paycheck tight. And that's what they do. You guys, that is what they do. The next thing that I want to talk about is blue collar could take over America because of social media. You guys, I'm learning this. I'm not an expert in this. I'm just figuring this out. I've wished the last 5+ years that I was posting on social media every day. I have wished that I had built up my personal brand. I wish that I had done those things. So I'm learning it now. That's what this podcast is. I'm posting on social media every day now. I'm really trying to build a personal brand because I've got goals and dreams that I want to achieve. And it's educating, it's helping, it's serving, it's sharing information to help people. You guys, my life has been changed through personal development. My life has been changed through the books that I've read, the podcasts that I've listened to, the videos that I've watched. My life has been changed, and I want to take that from my perspective and share it with all of you. And that's why I created this podcast, because this blue collar could take over America. This has been something that, you know, I feel like God really put in on my mind and my heart. And I look at this and I'm like, man, there's all these, I'm gonna use contractors as an example. Contractors that build homes, like general contractors. They're hiring the cement guy and da-da-da-da. General contractors. You guys, they still operate like 50 years ago. My wife and I just built a home, and I was flabbergasted by how old the contracting industry, the plumbers, the electricians, the everything. Like when we'd get an invoice, that invoice we'd have to send to our bank. The bank's an hour and a half away. Like my wife ain't gonna drive that every time to the bank. Hell no. And a contractor would write their contract up and be like, here you go, here's my invoice. And I'm like, can you send it in an email? Do you have a digital invoice? And they're like, no. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And so my wife and I, we'd figure it out. That was my wife's department. We generaled our own home, so we'd hire all these contractors. And I was just mind blown at how little they were using technology. This was in 2022, 2023. So not that long ago, you guys. I was just blown by like the complexity they still live in and work in without using technology. Then they show up and they've got an iPad, they've got a phone, the brand new smartphone. They literally only use it for a call and a text. I'd be like, hey, can you send me that invoice? You can send a PDF through text, email, all that, right? And next time they're there, they hand me a paper. I'm like, holy crap, guys. So then we'd scan them in. You know, we got the bank to agree. We'd scan them with our phones or whatever and send them in and do everything that we needed. But it was just interesting. So that's why I say social media, but technology, period. And so I'm going to use a general contractor as an example because everybody knows what they are. There we go. I literally started thinking about this and I was like, man, if you took a 25-year-old that has worked for a general contractor long enough, they've met the certifications, they can go get their general contracting license, boom. If that 25-year-old, okay, there was a 50-year-old that had been doing it for 30 years now, and everybody knows them. Great, because they've done a good job. That 25-year-old came in and implemented technology and social media. I believe in 1 to 2 years, that individual could be bigger and better than the 50-year-old that fast, blink of an eye. And the reason why is because everybody's on their phone. All the blue-collar people, I've driven past work sites. They're sitting in their truck, eating their sandwich, scrolling their phone, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're into. Everybody's on it. Everybody's on it. You guys, my staff, they're in their lunch break or they're just hanging out. I walk past their office. They're on their phones scrolling social media. I do it. We all do it. We all do it in the evening. We all do it in the morning. We all do it sitting on the freaking toilet taking a dump. Everybody flipping does it. And so that 25-year-old, if they took their knowledge and information and created content about their jobs, about what they're doing, made it entertaining and educational and all of that, I believe they could be to the level or bigger within a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years, whatever it may be, maybe even 6 months, where that 50-year-old, it took them 10 years to get to. That is the power of social media. At the same time, using AI. You guys, I've started working on implementing AI into my daily life. Like I moved ChatGPT app right to by my social media where the most, because I use my right hand, I moved it on the right-hand side. So now instead of going to Google, I go to ChatGPT, hit the mic thing and say, hey, what a da-da-da-da-da, and it gives me the answers. I'm like, I got to start learning this AI. If these individuals, if this blue-collar industry started implementing social media and building a brand to build their business, to build their job, implemented all this technology and software and systems, it would revolutionize the industry. I told you that the roofing guy did $2 million did $5 million in 2 years. 2 years. And he's all over social media, all over. I'm like, holy crap. But the blue-collar industry, they're still very much operating in the old way. Very much operating in the old way. So am I, guys. I'm right here. I'm right here with you guys. I'm working and learning on this too. So I share this, you guys. Blue-collar could take over America. If they learned what money is, how money works, and what to do with it. You got to quit letting everybody tell you what to do with your money. You got to quit taking their advice only. You need to learn for yourself. You need to use social media. You guys, it is the most powerful tool ever created, and it's free. It is a digital billboard that's free that never goes away. You guys, I have grown my insurance business significantly through social media. And then AI. You guys, it's here. AI is here, and it's bleeding into everything. It's bleeding into email. It's bleeding into social media, texting, our phones. The new update on my iPhone is crazy. AI is all over it now, and it's just getting more and more. And you guys, there's opportunity out there. If this young generation, you 20, 30-year-olds, if you would stay in the blue collar, in the trades, in all of this, stay in you guys, these are good industries, very good industries. You could build an incredible life, make really good money, have some really cool opportunities, stay in it. But you need to change your mindset of the way it's been done. We got to get rid of that. No more the way it was done. If you took your young mind and implemented that into this blue collar industry, you guys, there's so much opportunity, an unreal amount of opportunity. And so this is the message I'm going to share. You guys, I truly believe this. I truly believe that blue collar could take over America. There are more blue collar jobs than anything else. There is so much opportunity in it. There's so much money to be made in it. It's even more than when I was 18. You guys, I'll be 31 in a couple weeks. It's even greater than when I was 18. If I was to start over today, I would look at a blue collar. Honestly, you guys, I've literally thought of starting to find people. This is honest thought right here. I've thought of how could I find people that want to start a business that don't know how. They don't know the LLC stuff and the tax stuff and all those logistics that I've had to learn over the last 8 years. And we could partner, and I help with the social media and all those logistic things, and we build a plumbing business or electrical business or roofing business or something. I'm like, I should start investing into this and partnering with people in these industries because there's so much opportunity. That is literally what I've been thinking. So there's a lot of opportunity. So if you're in the blue collar, if you're a blue collar America, you guys, there's a lot of opportunity. You could take over America. You could take over America. That is my message for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you got value from it. If you did, leave me a like or leave me a rating. Follow me, subscribe to whatever you're listening to this on. Share it with your friends and your family. Follow me on social media. Comment, share your thoughts and ideas. Do you like this? Do you not like it? Let me know. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And always be the master.